The longer you watch this video, the more paranormal and creepy it gets. Watch carefully.
Explore the Conjuring house. Andrea Perrin claims an old woman hung herself in the barn. It's also where her mother almost lost her life. One winter day, Carolyn was out in the barn. A hand scythe flew into the air, spun around, and struck her in the back of the neck. She would have died if she wasn't wearing heavy clothing. Upon removing the clothes, she discovered heavy bruising and a large gash.
Chestnut, plane and sycamore. Who or what lies behind the door? This is supposed to be a door to an fairy demon realm.
A lot of people claim that Las Vegas tunnels are haunted. Every year after it rains, dead bodies are found washed up at the lake. The tunnel community doesn't respond well to outsiders. Don't go, it's very dangerous.
Here's what Olympic venues of the past look like today. Years after the fun and excitement, many change.
Tiptoe by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, tiptoe by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, tiptoe by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh.
Welcome to Letchworth Village. Welcome, but look at it. This was not a good place. This was a horrendous place. Like so many asylums in the United States in the 20th century, the endeavor started out great, good idea, place to take care of the mentally and physically disabled. But what we forget is that when these places were being built and utilized, people who were mentally and physically disabled were even less respected than they are now. All my followers are just going to want to hear about how haunted the place is and what kind of things people see in it, but everyone's forgetting how many lives were impacted by this place. How many people have been forgotten? Thousands of people lived and died here. They were stuck. They were placed here because they were undesirable, unhelpable, sick with tuberculosis, which had no cure at the time. Welcome to Letchworth Village.
There's stairs. Should we do it?
Should we try it?
But what else is over here? Yeah, it's a ladder to the surface. And this was some sort of drill. Oh, no, it wasn't a drill. It was something that brought some... I don't know what that is.
A winch.
A winch?
Put bullets in the air.
Oh, to put the bullets?
Yeah.
To drop them down.
It works?
No way! No way! So what he says, they would send a gunner up there to shoot and come back down. That's a maybe, though.
The picture that you see behind you is Alabama's Hell's Gate. You see, this urban legend is in 1950s. A young couple was driving late at night, and somehow their car actually went off the bridge and into the ravine, and they passed away. Now, the urban legend says that if you drive your car on this road, you turn off the lights, many times you can hear the couple scream, drowning in the water. or sometimes they will actually appear in your car. Another legend says that if you drive on this bridge and you turn around, you can see the gates of hell actually in flames. Now, keep in mind, you can't drive on this bridge anymore because it's in disrepair, it's in terrible condition. But many locals say that if you do go to this area and you walk across this bridge, don't be so surprised if you have some company walking right next to you or behind you, a young couple from the 50s.
To this day, it is unknown where Wilmot Red was buried. After being hanged, she was most likely temporarily placed in a rocky crevice near the execution site of the Salem witch trials. What happened to her body afterwards? It's a bit of a mystery. A cenotaph was placed for Wilmot next to her husband's headstone here at Old Burial Hill, which faces the pond she lived across from. This town shall burn were her last words, a curse which seemed to have came true in 1914. Some say they hear her chants echo throughout Old Burial Hill.
This person's security camera footage outside of their house caught these things materializing and then walking around. Let me know what you guys think, because I have no idea what these things are. I'm gonna roll the clip right now.
On a cold night in 1974, a writer and his wife checked into the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. The resort was on the brink of closing for the winter season, and the couple were the only guests staying at the hotel. The man, struggling with alcoholism and writer's block, noted the eerie sensation of their isolation. One night, the man noticed something peculiar. A fire hose, which had been hanging outside their room, began unraveling itself. It began chasing the couple's 3-year-old son as he ran down the hallway, screaming and peering over his shoulder, wide-eyed and frightened. Suddenly, the man jolted, awake. It was just a nightmare. Covered in sweat, he lit a cigarette and reckoned with the terrifying imagery he'd just seen. That man was the acclaimed writer Stephen King, and it was in that very room that he began mapping out the plot of one of the most renowned horror novels ever written, The Shining.
This is no ordinary picture. Want to take a guess what's going on here? Hi, I'm Stephanie, and if you like folklore, paranormal, unsolved cases, and anything strange, you come to the right place. Now, 2 videos ago, I did a story on a user submission who said that her brother took a picture of their mother who looked very different, and in the comment section, someone said that this perhaps is evidence or some form of ectoplasm. So what is ectoplasm? So during the 19th and 20th century, seances were a huge thing, and people claimed to have a form of ability to ectoplasm spirits from different parts of their body. You can think of the ear, the mouth, or any other part, really. Now, this is an image of Helen Duncan. She was the last person to be imprisoned under the British Witchcraft Act of 1735. Now, Helen's psychic ability is very controversial. Some were saying this was just a cheesecloth that she used, and she was just a fraud. She claimed to have this ability of emitting ectoplasm from her mouth. And then in November 1941, during World War II, she started doing a seance talking about a sailor, a spirit of a sailor whose ship had sunk. People feared that she had inside knowledge, and so they wanted to shut her down, hence being charged under Section 4 of the Witchcraft Act of 1735 for fraudulent activity. So while a lot of these people who claim to have been doing ectoplasm during that time frame were debunked or considered hoax, etc., there are some pictures like the one I just posted where people do believe this might be a form of ectoplasm. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section.
You won't want to miss this if you're visiting Salem. Many people assume that the Satanic Temple is only for people who worship the devil. Their mission is actually to encourage compassion, and apparently most Satanists don't believe in the existence of Satan or the supernatural. This bronze Baphomet weighs approximately 3,000 pounds, and yes, I did sit on his lap. Salem Satanic Temple also doubles as a gallery with a permanent collection filled with dark art. You can even book an overnight stay in their Victorian suite. So, would you spend the night?